And welcome back to Jeff Konange live at the Villa Rosa Kempinski on this Politics 101 Wednesday. I tell you, at first it was just Robert Alai and Benji Ndolo, and then the digital director at State House showed up, Dennis Itumbi. Now we have a quorum. Now we have a show. Sit back at Robert Alai, at Benji Ndolo, at Dennis Itumbi, at Konange Jeff. The hashtag Politics 101. Gentlemen, before we went on the break, there's a whole, you were listing a whole plethora of charges, but let's put that aside for a moment, Dennis.
Yes.
And talk about Boniface Mwangi versus the deputy president. You want to say?
Yeah, remember I said that these guys are not going the right way. So we said, well, they're lazy and we're going to correct them. Which is my camera.
This one here.
Because these guys are lost. This
report of the task force on the review of the legal policy and institutional framework for fighting corruption in Kenya. Good Lord. And Chairperson, Gitu Wigai.
Gitu, who was there, looking small, looking weak, floundering around, passing blame, more than 5 agencies, Director of Public Prosecutions, Attorney General's Office,
CEO,
National
EFCC.
Police Service, Director of Criminal Investigation, Auditor General, all these, except Auditor General, saying that they're basically unable to do anything. Saying it's you, no, it's them, it's me, it's, no, it's, you know, that's ridiculous. And so what this thing has here, for example, is this recommendation, this report gives, for example, best countries that have no corruption. This is now this task force report by Gitu Wigai, which in all probability has not been read in State House, which is why the frustration, the stress. This gives examples of countries that have no corruption, of tactics. You and I lived in the US. Best practice, quit harm rules. I didn't hear any mention of quit harm rules in the State House Breakfast Summit, which led me to believe that these guys are probably not even reading this stuff. They're allowing the president to be frustrated, to be stressed out, to take things on, you know, personally. You know, he said, Auditor General, where, you know, who you anataka nini. Quit harm rules is where you have whistleblowers that disclose information. For example, NYS. And then stand to benefit once the conclusion of investigations and recouping of the money is over. They stand to get 15–20% of the entire 1.8 billion.
Right.
Now, that's a way to make clean money. A guy like Robert Alai that has access to a lot of information, to people, all he has to do is give you stuff, you investigate, you find, all of a sudden he has 100 million clean money. This is the way to go. But instead, we've got a president saying, I can't do anything.
Benji says it has never been read in State House. For his information, this task force finished its role in October 2015. I'm sure even his booklet must be having that date.
Yes, it does.
In November 2015, in an article on president.go.ke, and encourage viewers to go and look at it, they presented it to the president, and the AG basically said the same issues I've been saying here. One of the issues was so much time is lost between the magistrates court handling corruption cases and the High Court because suspects do not miss issues to raise at the Constitutional Court. Those are the issues I've been raising here. There are stays being given, there are injunctions being given, there is too much waste of time in between in prosecution of these people. And what have the independent commissions done? DPP, 90 special prosecutors vetted. The High Court, to its credit, they have set up a special anti-corruption court. What needs then to be done after that is to look for a way of ensuring that there is the cases are not being delayed by people who have access to high money and therefore have access to the best lawyers in town and therefore have the best, know the weaknesses of the judiciary. By the way, this report that Benji took time to show to the cameras is titled Review of the Legal Policy and Framework. The law is implemented as it is, not as it should be. I appreciate that is how it should be, and this is now being implemented. Already 6 bills out of this. There's actually an omnibus anti-corruption laws review that's already in Parliament now. And it has 6 bills. There's a whistleblowers bill, there is the amendment to the Anti-Corruption Act, there's an amendment to the ESCC
I think Coroner's bill, is that part of that or that's a different one?
Act. All those bills are part of the omnibus bills in Parliament as we speak. So it is not a report that is gathering dust in State House after it was handed over. Finally, on that particular issue, it is important for us to know this. The President and the government is not saying we are very happy with the way things are as of now. We are not. We are only saying that we have done a lot in the fight against that. We have always implemented whatever is supposed to be implemented. And when he speaks about the Auditor General, and I don't know whether this had come earlier, I respect the Auditor General. and that he has put out reports consistently, and not only in his
Exactly.
tenure, but also in his office over time. But let's also remember what the law is. The law is once the report is done, it's taken to Parliament. Then Parliament employs its own investigative capacity by calling ministers, and that is the law. It is actually enshrined in the Constitution how it goes about it.
Correct. I have the
And
Constitution
then,
here.
And then after that, after the Parliament decides on it, it is then applied and the action is taken. But an Auditor General report cannot be used as a witness statement in court. That is the law that we have.
Good. Okay.
But I have to
Robert,
ask
hold
him a
on, hold on,
question.
Benji, hold on. Robert, at the summit, one more thing about the summit, then we move on. Should Githongo and David D have showed up, in your opinion? Should they have been there?
I think they should have shown up. You know, I've realized one thing with the government is that the government has all the machineries. And the government can bully you. You know, and every state would like to test its limits of how much they can use the power. The best way is to go in front of them and to tell them the truth without blinking an eye. When you hide wherever you hide, when you run away from them, then you're not going to solve the problem because you're not going to engage them. And they're winning the propaganda war. How many of us read opinion pieces in newspapers? You're going to put your opinion pieces, but the masses know that Githongo and Ndi are running away from the reality.
Correct.
So, the propaganda, they're going to win the propaganda war.
Correct.
The best way is to go in front of the president and tell him the same thing you're saying, in the same way you're saying, in front of them, so that you have a feedback there. If they're trying to stifle, if they're trying to snatch the microphone away from you, it will be seen.
Yeah. Gentlemen, let's switch gears. Let's switch gears.
I called John
we have to
and he
switch
said,
gears.
oh,
Let's move on.
he got the invitation late, and I thought that definitely that was a wrong move. I wanted to ask Dennis a question because the task force report that he has recommendations of which they're doing the opposite. For example, with the public audit bill, just to give you an example, Auditor General be granted liberty and resources for recruiting its own staff. That's page 42 of your report, and enhanced budget allocation to the same to facilitate effective and efficient audit work.
TV
That's fine. No,
What are you carrying there, man?
no, we'll do, because without that, this is basically what these guys are doing. This is basically this is basically how it's looking. This is what they promised, a beautiful haircut.
Right.
But this is why this is why there's all this noise, by the way. This is why there's all this noise, but let's put this away for a minute.
The three of us are bald headed.
I know.
Maybe we are.
Okay, well, I mean, on the public audit bill, why a bill is because it is going through a process. There will be stakeholder engagement, there will come to Parliament, it will be discussed. It's not at the end of it. I think what Benji is doing is what he does best, hyping stuff that doesn't exist.
Okay, let's switch gears real quick. Boniface Mwangi versus DP Ruto. Alai.
Yes.
Is someone treading on dangerous ground here, or does he have a case?
It's two way that I feel for Boniface, and I feel for what he's trying to achieve, or whatever he's trying to achieve with all these cases against the DP. I know that there's a lot of accusation against the DP, and sometimes I feel, I got a remark somewhere that when the president visited the prime minister one time, the former prime minister one time, and he told him that he's helpless when it comes to the DP. So I feel for the president in regards to the position where the DP is. But still, when the Boniface Mwangi takes the DP on, one, either is going to be injured, or some people are going to, the DP's people are going to turn this, like the president is using Boniface Mwangi to contain the DP.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of propaganda war. And I think it's going to be very nasty when it moves to the next week. Yeah. But I don't know what they're going to achieve. I'm not a lawyer. I've seen what is being presented by Boniface Mwangi, the facts, the issue of the DP doesn't have a name to protect, and it's not looking good.
Benji, is it sheer stupidity? I mean, how do you take on the DP?
No, it's about a moral voice. It's about a moral conscience. Everybody knows, what Ruto is. Everybody in Kenya knows that. It's more about courage. Alai, more than anyone else, should know that. And what was sad is Boniface Mwangi pretty much doing a video today, in a way predicting his own death. It was very sad.
Yeah.
In a coffin.
It's eerie.
His wife, but then the
morbid.
point that he's making
It's
is
morbid.
that it's a very morbid video, but the point he's making is that it is all about how you live because when you die, you're gone. And so it's all about standing up for something, for a cause. This is really not for the faint-hearted. I don't know. I feel we're at a bad place as a country.
Yeah. Dennis, representing the government.
No. I will comment on this as Dennis Itumbi, citizen number 222199988. And who has a case against Robert Alai, a defamation case?
Still.
Yes, still have a case. Still going on.
You see,
and one of the
people, they have
one of the
permanent stays. I can't speak.
One of the things that Robert Alai did immediately I filed the case is claim that at Robert Alai, which you claim now belongs to him, is not his account. That was his main defense in court. So basically what happens in defamation cases, Jeff, and
that says a lot.
And I'm like Benji, I'm speaking with an active court, an active case in court on defamation. There are only 4 defenses on defamation. One, is it the truth? I spoke the truth. That is a pure defense. Number 2 is absolute privilege. I'm a parliamentarian. I spoke in parliament. You cannot charge me for defamation. There is qualified privilege. I am a judge. I was reading a judgment. Or I am a teacher. I was just imparting knowledge on people. Then finally is fair comment, which was explained further in the ruling of Judge Vislam versus the Standard. Over a headline they had put up as not unfit for justice in 2011. In the ruling, fair comment was clearly done that it is only fair comment if facts support that fair comment. So basically what you're seeing here, it is not Boniface Mwangi who has sued the DP. It's the DP who has sued Boniface Mwangi. So the procedure is the DP will prove that he was actually defamed. Then once defamation is proved, Boniface Mwangi will get on his defense and all the side shows that he has will come into play. But the most important thing we always have to remember is the reason why this matter is in court is over only one issue. Boniface Mwangi tweeted and said, as a matter of fact, in his tweet that DP William Ruto killed Jacob Juma. That is the only issue under prosecution. Can he prove it? He hasn't proved it in his 36 pages response. Then what does he employ?
How many people have said that though?
Let me finish this. Then what does he do? He continues now with other side shows and emotional bits to go on this. Let me tell you, as a matter of fact, the only time the other issues he's bringing about to apply is when it comes to mitigation on how much he should pay the DP after he loses the case. And at that point, it will depend on whether the DP, having won the case, whether he wants to be paid or not. So these frivolous things that he's filing through his legal team will be dismissed on day one. Let's not, it's more like filing an affidavit. We saw these things even in the Hague case. People come with all manner of things, but they are dismissed when the proper, because in court, matters are decided only on facts, evidence, and the law. But then, and so far, the facts, the evidence, and the law is not always being applied, not emotions.
The reason why apparently Boniface came back and countersued was because the deputy president accused him of being what, a drunkard, an alcoholic.
Yeah, that's true. The counter
Did he call it by name? I didn't see the interview.
First of all, the counter suit is just a defense strategy. Defense does not come in until the petitioner prosecutes his case. What you're seeing are sideshows, and they will show themselves. They are emotional things, but emotions and sideshows don't decide a case. Facts, law, and evidence decides a case.
How many courts do you have? We have the courts of law and the courts of public opinion.
Exactly.
And this is where Boniface Mwangi is going to be the DP. On the courts of public opinion, Boniface Mwangi is playing to the gallery.
And it's not always.
He's going to defeat the DP in that regard. The DP wants to be seen to be good. And if you're a political leader, you also depend on the public perception. So this is where the DP is not going to win. And this is where his chances of being elected the president in 2022 is going to be injured.
And it's not always about law and legalese, even in the Bible. Some 50 years ago, black man, look at a white woman, it was legal to be hanged. Doesn't make it right. So this is, again, one of the conundrums that Jubilee have boxed themselves into, that, I have to look at the law. Law is made by man. And so, again, what's said in the Bible is, what do I do if my donkey falls on the Sabbath? And you're not supposed to work on the Sabbath.
I love the change of tone on this second round. Now it has gone to court of public opinion. And let me comment about court of public opinion. The DP is a seasoned politician. Unlike Benji, myself, and Alai, who have never gone to ask for votes on a podium, the DP has from 1997. He has asked for votes and won those elections. So he is a seasoned politician. He knows there is a court of public opinion. He knows that people will discuss several issues, but he has chosen to win the case in court. So we can only discuss Boniface Mwangi and the DP in court. As of the case of the public opinion, the man who has asked for votes from 1997 will still ask for votes in 2022 and in 2017 for the Honorable His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta. So relax, Mr. Alai. He understands. He knows.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to
Some
go.
will say 1997 is just the other day. You know,
20,
don't
20 years. 20 years. Let's
But
move
not
on.
yet. And some will say that 202 they lost. The DP lost.
But he won his parliamentary seat.
207, in fact,
But
Itumbi
some have
agreed
been
that
winning
they
parliamentary
lost
seats
again.
since.
Because he was with court.
While I say that they won,
No.
you say
We are-
2013, it's believed they rigged again.
Yeah.
So they didn't win the
I think
public.
Kibaki won parliamentary seats for 50 years. So that's, I mean, let's.
I love his prosecution of that case of the DP. He won his parliamentary seats from 1997. So it is not a question of that he lost. He won his parliamentary seat. He didn't lose. So
But you know,
basically,
I-
as of
to some, that's not a
2013
big deal.
as of 2013 and rigging, we went to the Supreme Court and I had a case also, so that I know I impacted how the vote count will be done in 2017. That spoiled votes will not be counted. So I was in
And
Supreme
by the
Court.
way,
We won the.
and by the way, just because he loves law so much, what do you have to say about the conviction on this Muteshi land of the DP and the fine for 5 million shillings?
The case was prosecuted in court. I'm not even sure you have read that ruling, have you?
I have read part of the ruling and the reporting on it.
You see, that's a problem with Benji. He really doesn't even go to what exactly was prosecuted. What was the case, by the way? Was the case against the DP by Muteshi, or was the case that he had lost land and he wanted compensation on the land?
Well, he was found culpable on the case.
You see.
Why is that not
You see,
important?
No, it is very important. You know what he's trying to do? He's trying to introduce a case about land and the DP, and then trying to own it
and
and
not
make sure
just
that
one.
the DP had. Which other one exists?
Pipeline. I mean, there's several. Are there not?
And what was the decision?
Whatever it was, there cannot
No,
just be allegations
you know,
out of the sky.
The DP has been accused of too many things. Sometimes I even
Why?
actually pity of being because people are looking at 2022, they are not looking at 2017, and they think
The
he's the
accusations
biggest
didn't
threat.
start
So you
yesterday?
say, of course
About
they did.
2022?
They started immediately declared that that Jubilee decided that he was going to be our candidate in 2022. So basically, at that point, is when people started saying he's a land grabber. They brought the issue of Western Hotel. They brought the issue of Langata Primary. The case is being
What's the
prosecuted.
issue with Western Hotel?
The case is in court. The case is in
Is
court.
there communication from government, from Mudara, etc., on Western Hotel?
By the way,
Is it
there is the
Kenya
case-
Airports Authority land?
Now he wants me to do for him the job he should be doing as civil
No,
society
it's-
of going to
the-
court
the
and
answer
listening
is
to
it
the court.
is.
No.
The answer is it
No.
is.
The answer is
Yeah.
the case is being prosecuted in court. The matter is in court.
I'm just
The
trying to tell
ruling
you
will-
guys,
In fact, the person
This
who owns the
country
land
is bigger
is in
than
court saying
individual business interests.
the person who is in court and saying this land is mine. 3 people are in
Dennis.
court saying the land is theirs and they are prosecuted. They are put title deed.
Dennis,
So I mean, why
Dennis,
do you
you
want
know
me to
what was the
prosecute a case
saddest
that
day
is
for
not
me, Dennis? When the DP was on an interview on a TV station, prime time, and the anchor asked him, "Did you kill Jacob Juma?" It's not about whether he did or not. It's a fact that you can ask the Queen of England if she stole a cookie from Kempinski. Get the freaking point.
Robert,
This is where
No,
this
that's
is where
very
this,
sad.
this is where
It's very, very
this
sad.
is where I feel also for the DP, because you know the people who are fighting the
very
DP
sad.
are in the government. They're not in the opposition.
They're inside.
They're inside the government. So the DP needs not to look outside who is fighting him. And you
So
know,
he's innocent?
but no. I'm not saying that he's innocent, but I'm saying that the people who are so much against him are inside government. The only thing which I think the DP needs to do, and he has not done well,
Is read this
to
thing.
clear his name, especially in regards to murder. You know, when you have been accused of murder by so many people, then
Imagine.
you take one person only on, then it doesn't ring well. The first person who made the accusation and who spoke in podiums, he was not even tweeting, he was speaking
Exactly.
in person, and he
And
was
you
making
weren't
a
there.
lot of-
And he said he was
not
in my
only-
car.
It was
Come on.
Benji, first.
I was at
You
that
know,
funeral with you.
it
I
was
was
not only
so
it was,
angry.
it was not only accusing him of killing Jacob Juma,
He accused
but he
him of
was
other people.
accusing him of killing another young man from somewhere else.
How you can gloss
It is
over that?
not looking good on the
Yeah.
DP. The DP needed to sue the Jirongo and to sue all others who made claim
And
But he
even
hasn't.
the victim.
But he
And
hasn't.
even the
He
victim.
hasn't.
Dennis, has he gotten a bad rap? Has he? Is it
Let me
unfair?
respond to this gentleman. And therefore, sometimes I find myself in very interesting situations. This matters. Neither Benji nor Alai, who was supported by what Benji has carried in the Constitution of Kenya, in private prosecution, have prosecuted the DP on those issues. Number two, when Jirongo rose on the podium, he said the police should investigate Honorable William Ruto on the murder. The Honorable William Ruto went at Kenya National Theatre and said he's welcoming all these people to come and investigate him. Then, that thing that happened on it, Benji asked me, the fact that you can ask the Queen of England a question that is negative. Let me ask Benji a question. Is it true that you impregnated a girl called Irene?
No.
You see, he is responding. That is a weird question, a random question from the blues. It doesn't even exist.
Right.
But he responded. It is the same
But
thing
he had to
wants
think
us
about
to
it.
respond
He
to.
had to think
He had
about
to think, and he still wants us to put those questions and be able to react to them in a serious TV
No,
show.
that's, you see,
Okay,
Dennis
on that
is here
note,
to do
we have to
clownish
take
stuff
a break.
and we're
We
here
have
to do
to
serious
take a
stuff.
break. Benji, you had to think about that, man.
No, you have to. I mean, because he's in government, I don't know what he's looking at. So I'm like, it's not even a legitimate question. So
Yeah, it is.
that's called frivolous stuff.
Let's take
And we're trashing.
Dennis, how, you snookered
Dennis,
it there.
no, he didn't. Not at all.
Let's take another break. Come back. At Robert
trashing
Alai,
this
at
thing every
Benji
day.
Ndolo,
At
at
Benji Ndolo.
Dennis Itumbi, at Konanga Jeff. The hashtag Politics 101. By the way, gentlemen, when we come back, there's something that calls itself the National Super Alliance, NASA. Let's talk about it. I tell you, this is interesting. Oh my. Oh my.
Well, my.
Jeff Konanga live at the Villa Rosa Kempinski takes a break. We'll be back in a moment.